Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we hope we have your vote. It's Lost in the Midcard. Welcome. It is the cusp of AEW Full Gear. Literally, it's going to be the eve of AEW Full Gear because we have a special Friday show coming your way. Due to this week, we moved our recording to Thursday this week. And so we have AEW Full Gear coming at you this Saturday on pay-per-view. We're going to break down the card, talk about Dynamite from the previous week, and give you our predictions at the end of the show. Also talk the rest of the shows from this week and a few headlines as well. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you need to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. But when you hit that subscribe button, you'll know a new episode comes your way on a different time like we are this week. So make sure to hit that subscribe, or on YouTube, hit the bell icon to be notified every time a new episode comes your way. And on YouTube, the links are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, as well as our Twitter at LITMC Podcast. And I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
We're on the road to Full Gear, baby. Doing good.
Full Gear?
Full Gear.
Someone say Full Gear?
Oh, I'm saying about Full Gear.
Haven't had
I'm saying about maybe the most stacked wrestling pay-per-view of 2020. Full fucking gear. That's what I said. Recognize.
Yeah, it's going to be a damn good show. That's for damn sure.
It's such good shit.
Yeah, there you go.
He would really have to fuck up to ruin the show.
I was like yeah. And, you know, the pay-per-views usually almost always deliver, always make it worth your money. So, you know, I think it's going to be good, a very good show. Probably some surprises there. I mean, they're already teasing a debut or return. I don't know. What are the
Seems like a debut from the way the advertisement's going. Some kind of free agent coming into the company.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking about it. I gave my opinion on my article at Sportskeeda earlier this week.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who that'll be. Let's talk AEW. Dynamite.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Dynamite. Last night for us, as we're recording on Thursday night this week, we got Dynamite, and we kicked things off with MJF and Wardlow against Ortiz and Sammy Guevara, and I must say that was a pretty good start to the evening. No surprise with MJF and Wardlow getting the win, since we got the big match, Jericho and MJF coming at you at Full Gear. So no big
it would have made no sense otherwise.
Yeah. Miro took on Trent. Miro's singles debut. Very good match there, I thought. Of course, Trent is Trent is one of the a tremendous wrestler in his own right there, and Miro dominant for a lot of it. So thought that was pretty good. Team Taz came out talking about how they're not on Full Gear, but by the end of the promo by Taz, he states that they'll have a presence at Full Gear. So it'll be interesting to see what he means by that, Matt. Any idea?
I don't know. I hope they don't get involved in the TNT title match.
Yeah.
That would be my main worry. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what exactly what they're planning, but it sounds like they're going to be there. Bucks and Private Party had themselves a good match. At the end of the match, FTR attacking the Bucks. Hangman comes out to make the save, and so did Kenny.
Kenny.
And then they got in each other's faces a little bit. Always love when Hangman wears that fancy cowboy shirt with the red rose on it.
Are we sure that's fancy?
Oh, it's fancy, man.
I'll take your word for it, pal.
there ain't no doubt about it. That is a fancy shirt. How about that face to face with Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston? That was intense, so to speak. Very personal. Of course, there was the edict that Kingston could not get physical with Moxley or he'd lose his title shot. So Moxley was pushing a lot of buttons. I really enjoyed this exchange, Matt.
Dude, it was one of the best back and forth promos I've seen on pro wrestling period all year. I mean, it was amazing.
We got a vignette from Pac. We haven't heard from Pac in a while. Maybe once since he's been out for
awesome.
7 months. Yeah.
He's back next week. I guarantee it.
You don't think he's at Full Gear?
No, I don't. I think they're going to save him due to the fact that Pence is facing Phoenix again next week. That's when Pac returns.
Do you think he tries to take the brothers away?
I do. I think they're going to split off. I think it's going to be the Death Triangle against Kingston and Butcher and the Blade.
I kind of felt that way too.
Yeah. Then I think it's going to be # good shit pal.
It's such good shit.
Like that?
There ya!
Never can get can never get through an episode without having Kaz on the show, right?
Probably not.
There ya!
Red Velvet, who you've seen on AEW Dark a lot. Looking like she's got a partnership with Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah, because Brandy refers to her as Little Bran.
And she took out Nyla Rose. That didn't end well.
Of course it didn't.
I loved Vicky's promo at the end of the match. She even
bullshit officer.
Oh, Vicky cussing on the mic. I love it. That was
I love how Brandy tried to stand up to her and Nyla Rose was like, what? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. I popped. I loved it.
There's just been no build for this match though, man.
No. And like Cody tried to explain it on the media call today. He basically said, like, some matches, like he said, the pro wrestling fan over the last 20 years has been conditioned that every single match has to have a storyline behind it. And he basically said in AEW, some matches are just going to happen because they're the number 1 ranked contender and they're getting a shot at the title, and you don't have to overthink it. And that was pretty much his explanation.
What do you think of that explanation?
I think it's kind of lame. But honestly, I feel like I'm wondering if Britt's not 100% yet.
Yeah.
And they were dragging their feet and waiting to see if Britt was like 100% good to go for a match with Sheeta. And when she wasn't, they were like, well, fuck, we got to do something. Let's just give the shot to Nyla Rose. It's the only thing I feel like had to have happened, because Sheeta's got to retain.
Yeah.
So she can face Britt Baker.
And lose to Britt Baker.
Yeah. Britt Baker's got to hold that title in 2021 for a while. But Britt facing Nyla doesn't make any fucking sense. So they can't do that.
No.
So yeah, to me, like, Sheeta has to win. She has to.
Yeah. Main event, 6-man tag. Cody and the Gun Club took on Colt Cabana, John Silver, and 10 from the Dark Order. Very, very good 6-man tag. And Cody, one of the best promo men in the business, cutting another good one at the end of the show. Oh boy, Matt, another New Japan tease with Tanahashi mentioning the Ace.
I don't know. He's been referring to that title as the Ace Belt
Yeah,
for months now. I think people are reading too much into it.
there's a lot of New Japan references though, so.
I look. I agree. There's been some New
Whoops.
Japan references lately, but I think that particular one, Cody's been referring to that title as that for a while. I think people are overthinking now.
I was moving the soundboard and I accidentally hit.
You stupid idiots!
Sorry.
Honestly, I think Darby wins on Saturday.
Do ya?
Because seriously think about why have Darby faced Cody 4 times since the company's launched, only to time limit him once and then lose the next 3 times. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he has to win now.
Yeah.
And that's the perfect time. You freaking Darby wins the title, Cody snaps and turns heel. It's perfect.
Well, breaking news from yesterday.
Breaking news.
Well, it broke yesterday. That
Not really breaking.
yeah, well, that WWE abandoned the trademark of Cody Rhodes. Cody kind of mentioned about 2 names in his promo too last night. So he kind of mentioned he might be going back to Cody Rhodes now that it's been announced. It was kind of a deal. Cody
it was a deal.
Cody got his name in exchange for the Match Beyond and Slamboree trademarks that his dad had come up with. So it was kind of a little deal there that Cody would abandon those trademarks and again get his name back. Cody said that as of this morning, he once again has 2 names. So
the way he talked about it on the media call today, I don't foresee him using it on AEW. Like, I still think he's going to be called the American Nightmare Cody, but I think if like Jim Ross or somebody refers to him as Cody Rhodes, it's going to be okay now.
Yeah.
He seemed to be more interested in using it for outside projects, like the Go Big show.
Yeah.
To be referred to as Cody Rhodes instead of just Cody. So like that's the way he played it off on the call. I mean, obviously that can change.
I saw,
that was my understanding from the way he talked about it today.
I saw an interesting theory that he
said he shot it down on the call today.
What was I gonna say?
That he was Cody can't challenge for the AEW World Title again, but Cody Rhodes can.
Yeah,
he shot it down. He shot it down on the call today. He's like, I'm never gonna challenge for that title again. It doesn't matter if I change my name or any of that stuff. He was like, he's like, I'm not doing it.
Oh, there will be a story down the line where he clashes with MJF again and wins the right to challenge. It'll happen, man.
I hope not.
You want Cody? You don't ever want Cody to.
It's not that I don't want Cody to ever. It's not that I don't want Cody to ever be the world champion. I want. I want stipulations and match results to matter in AEW. And that's exactly why the Young Bucks absolutely positively cannot lose on Saturday night.
NXT from last night, coming off of what was a really good Halloween Havoc show. Tremendous Halloween Havoc show. I thought from top to bottom, I thought it was really well done. Dakota Kai, Ember Moon kicked things off. Really good match. They went about 15 minutes. Thanks to Raquel Gonzalez. Kai gets a surprising win, obviously, with Ember Moon just now returning to NXT on fire as well. But of course, it wasn't really a necessarily clean win, but still a very good match with those ladies. Kushida and Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes has been just cracking me up ever since the Halloween Havoc match. The scared Cameron Grimes is pretty damn funny.
I'm glad he's cracking somebody up because I'm not entertained by him at all.
Oh, come on, man.
Sorry. Just not.
Kushida.
He doesn't make me laugh.
Kushida with a big win. Many speculate that he might be going for Finn Balor soon, Matt, and I could see it. He won that big.
I don't know if they've pushed him hard enough to put him up against Prince yet.
Yeah, he won the big triple threat against one former champion. One that we figured would be champion by now, but now he's kind of gotten in his own way, so it'll be a while before he's ever NXT champion in Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
I don't know. Killian Dane, Drake Maverick took on Dollar Store Young Bucks, Ever Rise, and they were.
Wait a minute.
They were interrupted by the foursome of Pat McAfee, the extremely ripped Pete Dunne, and Lorcan and Birch. I absolutely enjoyed Pat McAfee's promo here, Matt. And I love the whole segment. In the car, stealing the camera, cut the promo. I liked it all. And man, that was pretty graphic there with Killian Dane, blood on the ground after getting his head crushed in the car door.
That wasn't PG.
No. That was I didn't expect like that graphic of a scene after they drove off, but I thought it was a tremendous segment. Obviously, we're heading to War Games with this. We're gonna get all 8 men beating the shit out of each other, and Matt, what Regal comes out and says, "What?
War Games."
Pete Dunne just looks like a fucking Terminator right now, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure I like the new look though.
Too lean?
Yeah, he's almost too lean. Like he didn't eat during the entire quarantine. Like all he did was just sit there with like freaking. All he did was just sit there and do bicep curls for 6 months. Like, dude, did you eat a sandwich? Like, what the fuck, Pete?
He just ate lunch meat and sat on his Bowflex.
He didn't have any championship titles to chew on.
Tony Storm, Shotzi Blackheart. That was pretty damn good, wasn't it, Matt?
I hated the finish.
Oh, because of the distraction, yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point?
Yeah.
And I think Shotzi really overacted over the freaking
a little bit, yeah.
The tank. I'm just like, come on, man.
Yeah, at least Tony was a little compassionate to that. But yeah, a little bit of an overreaction for the tank. I mean, it is what. Who was in the Scream mask though?
Oh, it's gonna be Indy. It's gonna be Indy Hartwell.
Think so.
Okay. But she got stuck in the COVID protocol. So
it wasn't her at Havoc, but it'll eventually.
It was designed to be her at Halloween Havoc, and it was designed to be her last night. But when it's unmasked, it's going to be Indy Hartwell. That's the plan. But the fact is, they can't have her. They can't have her on TV at the moment. Maybe next week. I don't know how long their protocol WWE runs their protocol. So maybe she'll be back next week.
Jake Atlas gets a cheap shot in on Raul Mendoza with either a bat or a pipe, and drives off, leaving Santos Escobar with a smile on his face. Probably because he's proud, because that looks like something he would have done himself. Timothy Thatcher is Thatch Can. Do you like these things here?
No.
You don't like them at all?
No.
I dig them.
I don't care about Timothy Thatcher. He's very boring and bland to me, and it's just whatever. Like I just don't care about him.
Xia Li gets yet another letter from home.
Poor girl.
Yeah, she's, I guess, getting threatened by her family. And if
You win or we kill you.
yeah, don't start winning matches.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. But...
That's about the gist of it, I think, is my guess. So Regal agrees to give her a match with Raquel Gonzalez next week. We'll see what happens there. It looks like we are heading towards Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley for the title. The next takeover. I don't know why they didn't put it on Candace. They should have, I thought. But they almost thought it was going to be a given with Gargano winning right off the bat at Halloween Havoc, but nope. But I mean, Ripley and Shirai is going to be a hell of a match. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Ripley becomes 2-time here, Matt.
I mean, she deserves it. They fucked her around more than long enough.
Yeah, she had to deal with Robert Stone. She had to deal with Robert Stone for a while, so.
Yeah, man. Like, look, if they're finally deciding, hey, it's time to put this woman back on track, I'm all for it. But they've done a lot of damage to her since WrestleMania. Like, they need to fix that girl.
A lot of you know what? I changed my mind on that. I don't think Io's gonna, or I don't think Rhea's would take it from her, because there are heavy. Well, actually, it was an interview with Shotzi Blackheart on some kind of show that kind of insinuated Rhea's getting called up soon. So,
God, I hope not. I hope not for her sake.
I don't know. I think she'd get pushed well.
We already saw what happened to her at WrestleMania. I don't have any faith.
Yeah, I mean, look
how
how long
that's going to happen.
Look how long it's taken for them to do something with Bianca Belair. Next week on NXT, Lorcan and Birch, Breezango rematch for the tag team titles, and Gargano against a mystery opponent for the North American Championship. Any inklings on who the mystery opponent is, Matt?
I have no idea.
And main event, Ciampa and Velveteen Dream was a fairly good one, with Ciampa getting the win there. I wouldn't hate a Ciampa Kushida Balor triple threat down the line, man.
I don't think anybody would.
No. You got Ciampa gets the win there, effectively ending that feud. Kushida got the win in the triple threats. If you keep elevating both guys going forward, it could be a pretty good one. But I think NXT followed up nicely with their from a great Halloween Havoc. So I thought it was a very good Wednesday, Matt.
Yeah, can't hate. I thought it was better than their Halloween Havoc show. But there were still some finishes that I just left me going, eh. But I thought it was a better show than that. But I thought Dynamite was great. So
yeah, it was. Impact Wrestling, we learned that Johnny Bravo lived, and Sherlock Dreamer is on the case.
Oh boy.
And I loved D'Amore's line at the end of the segment. By the time this is all done, he's going to want to be shot. Good shit, pal. We kick things off with the Impact Knockouts Championship. Su Yung against Deonna Purrazzo. And that ended in a DQ. So apparently we are not done with that feud, Matt. But
oh yay.
Heath and Rhino in the conference room looking to for Heath to sign that new deal, but can't pull one over D'Amore, can you?
Fuck you, D'Amore, you bitch.
D'Amore knew that Heath was hurt, so he'll be waiting. The contract will be waiting for him when he's healthy and ready to return.
Fuck him. Fucking asshole. Fucking over Heath. He's got kids.
Chris Bay, Trey Miguel had a good match there with a couple of the X Division dudes. Locker room talk with Madison Rayne and Johnny Swinger. And the guests were Jordan Grace and Tennille Dashwood. And Madison's goal for this edition of Locker Room Talk was to possibly pair up Tennille Dashwood and Jordan Grace. And Tennille Dashwood started talking it up. But in the end, she wanted a former Knockouts Tag Team Champion on her team with Madison Rayne. And she agreed. So there's your team there. And then they take some photos with Caleb with a K. I wouldn't be surprised, Matt, if in this tournament Jordan Grace has a very a surprise tag partner. I have no idea who it would be at this point, but I think she may come with a surprise. I don't know who's out there to be honest, but that's my thought. Is there anybody else that you would think of that you would pair her with?
Nothing coming to mind right now. No.
There are. I mean, obviously, I think it's an 8-team tournament, right? So there's obviously going to be debuts and surprises.
I would think so. I would think they're gonna. I would think they're going to be bringing women in for this, even if they're not going to be staying with the company long term.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll see some. Like, I would not be surprised to see ODB, for example, like in this tournament. I mean, she was the last Knockout Tag Team Champion. I kind of feels like she deserves to have that shot.
Yeah, so, and it's going to be like Mae Young Classic where they bring in some women just for this tournament. And I thought Rohit Raju and TJP had a pretty good promo, pretty good back and forth in the ring there. I really enjoyed that. We're clearly setting up for that match, as we'll find out later in the show. And so, right before Ethan Page took on Doc Gallows, D'Amore told both gentlemen that TJP will get a shot, and none of Rohit's shenanigans. And if TJP does not win, he cannot challenge for the title as long as Rohit is champion. Doc Gallows beat Ethan Page, and Gia Miller interviews Swoggle. So apparently Swoggle's sticking around with Impact for a while.
I was surprised by this, but I don't hate it.
I think a feud with Brian Myers could be interesting. Honestly, I mean, they're real life friends, and they can use that as part. They already have used it as part of the story.
As long as Matt Cardona doesn't show up, I'm good.
I know,
because I'm still holding out on that man getting his AEW contract. If he shows up in Impact, I'm gonna cry.
Any idea why? What's going on there?
I don't know what's going on. The only thing I can assume, and I have not heard this from anybody. I'm not reporting this. Don't freaking take this as gospel or fact. When I tell you I've heard it from a source, I've heard it from a source. I have not heard this from anybody. This is me speculating. I speculate that maybe AEW went to Cardona with a contract offer, and Cardona didn't like the money value. And maybe they're in some kind of standstill over money. That's the only thing I can assume, because AEW is continuing to sign people right now, and they didn't sign him. And I'm just wondering, like, why? And, like, the only thing I could come up with is maybe something to do with money. Other than that, I legitimately, I don't know why he's not signed to a contract yet. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Cody Deaner took on Johnny Swinger. Swinger with the win off the loaded fanny pack. Moose comes to the ring, cuts a promo, got attacked by Willie Mack in retaliation for the parking lot attack from the week before. I'm kind of seeing what they're doing with Moose now, Matt. I think they're trying to turn him into. I think he's turned him into EC3.
What a terrible idea. That's terrible.
It's just what it looked like when me watching.
I know. It doesn't make it any less terrible.
Detective Dreamer narrowing down his list of suspects. I think it's someone that was not in the room. I think it was somebody that's not in that room.
Well, who do you think it was then?
I don't know.
I don't think Impact would do a list of suspects and then have it be none of them. So I think it's going to be one of them.
I think it's gonna be some surprise guy. I loved when Father James Mitchell was saying he's such an angel. We all know better.
Yeah, but I don't think he did it.
No, that'd be too obvious.
Yeah, I think he's I think he's the most obvious answer, and that's why I absolutely think it wasn't him.
No, I just think it's someone on the outside, possibly, but I don't know. Maybe it was Scott D'Amore.
Wow. Oh boy.
What happened?
You accusing Scott D'Amore trying to kill Johnny Bravo.
I mean, he's kind of losing it lately with all the things going on. So no, I don't know. I think it's someone that wasn't in the wedding, in that room. I think it's a surprise. I mean, it ain't gonna be like a gigantic surprise or anything, but there's gonna be a swerve in there somewhere. Or maybe Dreamer did it.
That would be kind of funny.
Yeah. Match time!
I don't think he did it, but it would be kind of funny if he did.
And in your main event, Rich Swann and Eddie Edwards take on Eric Young and Sami Callihan. Eric Young and Sami Callihan, that'd be a good team. The good guys get the win. At the end, Shamrock comes and attacks both guys, and the bad guys stand tall at the end of Impact. So there you have it. SmackDown of the Friday variety. We kick things off with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. And yet another good segment with those guys. We'll advance that story a little later in the show, as you'll find out. Survivor Series qualifying match, Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler. Great match. Outcome was probably never in doubt with KO getting the win, joining the team there, but a very good match with two very capable wrestlers. A very weird interview with Lars Sullivan and Corey Graves. I'll just put it at that.
Well, if I'm forced to be nice, I will say Lars did the absolute best he could possibly do with the material that he was given.
Yeah, because we know he can cut a promo, but
it
was bad.
That was just the worst. It was the worst.
Yeah, I mean, Lars wasn't bad. Lars wasn't bad here. It was the creative.
It was the creative material which they were given to work with.
Stupid idea from bad creative.
Oh, you know it, buddy.
Who would have known that line would be able to be used for almost probably all of the rest of Vince's life, probably, right?
Shut up!
Ugh.
Dummy.
Yeah. Gotta get Eli in the show for once.
Poor Eli.
Yeah. God, I wish he was somewhere.
Is he doing that weird gimmick on Tuesday nights? Because I don't know, because I don't watch it. Has he been on that at all?
Yeah, I think he was once, yeah.
I mean, at least he's doing something.
Yeah. Qualifying match, triple threat, Natalya, Bianca Belair, Billie Kay. That match was never in doubt, I don't think, with as much as they've been pushing Bianca lately. Carmella with another vignette. She's probably going to be the final or a member of the Survivor Series team, if I would guess.
Can't wait not to care about that.
The never-ending story between Murphy and the Mysterios, and Aaliyah and Murphy kiss, and people fight. Rollins fought with Murphy, and Dominic fought with Murphy, and Ray fought with Murphy, and Aaliyah
fights with Murphy,
and Aaliyah Lip wrestled Murphy.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It was a good storyline. I liked how it was a lengthy one, that they actually had some build to it, but it's thanks for its course. I don't know. I think it's just run its course. Street Profits took on Cesaro and Nakamura. Good little tag match there. Sami Zayn saying how he's going to beat Bobby Lashley at Survivor Series. Nobody believes that. Probably could cheat or something, but we need to get rid of this Raw versus SmackDown thing. I mean, it was kind of interesting with NXT involved, but it's not good.
It's honestly, it's ruined the Survivor Series concept.
Yeah, people are all it is people cutting promos with the camera.
Like, I just liked it better when it was just like groups against people. Like, look, as shitty as Retribution is, they could have done the Hurt Business and Retribution in a Survivor Series match at Survivor Series.
Well, that was probably the
but
original
instead
plan.
They just threw it on Raw, and they just threw it on Raw and said, fuck it.
That was probably the original plan until they saw that the feedback on Retribution, and
still think regardless they should have done. They still should have done it.
Sasha Banks cutting a promo as champion. Bayley coming out reminding everybody that Sasha's never successfully defended a title in her life. So that'll all change, I'm thinking. I think Sasha finally retains one, Matt.
I hope so.
Your main event, qualifying match for Survivor Series, Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso, tremendous match. Jey winning clean over Daniel Bryan.
Do you understand now, JB?
What?
Do you understand?
Understand what?
Do you understand now?
No. I don't.
He understands now.
Do ya?
Obviously, Daniel Bryan has been one of the catalysts for pushing Jey Uso, and obviously Roman Reigns is another one of them. So a good clean win against a world champion is continuously elevating Jey. But we did not expect the heel turn so soon, did we, Matt?
I don't know. I kind of expected him to fall in line relatively quickly. I don't know if I expected it on the very first show, but
yeah, I thought they drew it out a little bit. But Jey Dunn beat the shit out of Daniel Bryan, didn't he?
Or Daniel. Daniel's like, beat my ass so I can go back home.
Yeah, that's basically it. Write me off TV for a while. Let me produce shows from home.
I'm bored being here. Just wait for my contract to run out so I can go to AEW.
At least he's on the A show.
That's so amazing to know that in 2020 the worst wrestling show on a Monday through Friday basis is on Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does that not blow your mind?
Not really, because it sucked for a while now. I mean, overall, because there was a time where SmackDown was the better show a couple of years ago, even too. And then there was like a little bit of a switch, and then it flipped right back shortly after. So your new 14-time WWE champion Randy Orton kicks off Raw this evening, interrupted by Alexa Bliss, and she's playing some games with Orton. Alexa's gonna eat an RKO eventually. I think book that, put that in the book. The lights go out, but it wasn't the Fiend. It was a Claymore kick from Drew McIntyre. And then Miz tries to cash in, but McIntyre says, nope, you're not going to. And so he thwarted the cash in. It's good to see a cash in attempt, Matt. It feels like it's been forever since we've seen one of those.
I don't know. I'm not feeling the whole. I feel like the only reason Randy Orton is WWE champion right now is because they didn't want to feed Drew to Reigns.
That's probably it.
So, just the idea that by doing so, that means Orton and Drew must continue past Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
I am so fucking sick of this feud, man.
I totally expect Drew to get the title back, and on the same night, Miz cashes in and gets it. I feel like they're going to give Drew the second reign in the books, like the second reign in the books, but it's going to be they beat the shit out of each other so hard that Miz takes advantage and cashes in. Probably probably because if the Fiend is involved, I almost guarantee you it's going to be Drew, Randy, and Fiend TLC match at TLC. They're going to beat the fuck out of each other, and Miz takes advantage because TLC match, they're going to beat the holy shit out of each other. And so I fully expect Miz to cash in at TLC. But give Drew an on paper second title reign. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe I can't help but feel like when Miz cashes in, he's going to blow it.
You know what I mean?
We'll see what happens.
Oh, Wail and Mercy. You know what I mean? One of the inspirations for the original Bray Wyatt character.
Everything lies in Wail and Mercy's hands.
That's why the buzzard.
You know what I mean?
That's why the buzzard's named Mercy. Those promos were so good, though. Old Dan Spivey. Miz
classic 90s WWE.
Miz pissed off that Drew screwed up his cash-in attempt, so he challenges him and Morrison challenged Drew to a 2-on-1 handicap match. I was half joking that Elias and Jeff Hardy last week on the show, I was half joking that they were going to do a guitar on a pole match.
This is all your fault.
Yep. It's all mine and Jeff Jarrett's fault. Jeff Hardy with the win. I like Jeff Hardy coming off the turnbuckle with the guitar, though. That was kind of cool. But Hardy gets the win.
Can this feud really end right now?
For some reason, they have a women's tag team title match with Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke. It's like they're going to be on the same team here in a couple weeks, and now we're gonna have a title match with them. Okay.
Titles. Lana should have caused the title change. I stand by that.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, I was cautiously optimistic.
Instead, Dana Brooke taps out after a 4-minute match. Our Truth thought he was meeting Bobby Boucher. No, he's in a match with Bobby Lashley. And poor R-Truth, he met Nelson from Simpsons and tapped out real quick, and then Drew Gulak came in and stole the 24/7 title. I thought at first Lashley was gonna when he beat the shit out of Gulak. I thought Lashley was gonna be a dual champion there for a minute. AJ Styles comes out. He claims himself to be the captain of the Survivor Series. Does anybody care who's captain?
I don't fucking care.
It's like lazy booking 101. We don't know what to do, so let's run this captain angle again. I don't know. But AJ is great, and Strowman came out and said he wanted to be on the team. And AJ says that you have to earn your way to be on the team. And so a triple threat match with two of the guys on the team, Keith Lee and Sheamus. And if Strowman won, he would get himself on the team. And by far, Matt, this is probably the best thing on Monday night, wasn't it? This triple threat match.
Probably, yeah.
It was a good match. Kind of funny. Sheamus has had 2 great matches in a row on Monday Night Raw lately, showing the worth of Sheamus coming over.
When they let Sheamus work with somebody that's not the same old, Shorty G or Apollo Crews. I mean, the dude can have great matches, and he's great against other big guys. You know, like he has some of his most entertaining matches when he's in there with like another big dude. So I feel like that's where Sheamus really shines. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Sheamus and Drew for the title sometime in 2021.
Yep. They're playing as best friends, longtime friends right now.
They were. They used to be a tag team before they were in WWE together.
Yep. They wrestled in Europe together when Drew got started wrestling. So yeah, there's going to be a point where Sheamus turns on Drew, and they start a good. What'll be a pretty damn good feud, I'd assume. Firefly Funhouse, the old swear jar. I kind of chuckled at the swear jar. Nia Jax is back as well. Creative probably forgot we didn't put Lana through a table yet, so we'll have Nia Jax against Lana and then put Lana through the table again. VIP Lounge with MVP in the Hurt Business and the New Day. I thought this was a great back and forth promo between these guys. And
I went on a little too long, personally. I overall I thought it was good.
Yeah, entertaining. Your classic WWE non-title win for the non-title holders of Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. This was also a very good match with Kofi and Xavier.
The only thing that didn't make any sense to me is that MVP pretty much stated in his promo that this was for the tag titles.
Did he? I missed it.
Yeah, he said their reward for taking out Retribution was a tag team title shot.
Yeah, I knew. Okay, I did hear that.
And then it was just like, they got the pin. I'm like, oh shit, new champs. And then nothing happened.
Yeah, I did hear that, but I guess maybe it was the reward was to get them in the picture. I don't know. Well, then they win the match and now they get a title.
Whatever it is, they sure as fuck didn't word it right.
It was a stupid idea from bad creative.
Poor Tucker split from Heavy Machinery and jobs to Ricochet in 45 seconds. And then Ricochet jobs to Retribution. Hey, so Retribution actually beat somebody up this week, Matt.
Yeah, but they beat up a guy who's been getting beaten up consistently all of 2020.
Yeah.
So you didn't right any ship. You literally did a 5-on-1 against a guy who's getting beat up 1-on-1 almost for the entire fucking year.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fucking joke. Like, freaking Ali on Twitter before Raw, then Retribution's going to right the ship tonight. You didn't write nothing. You wrote nothing. Fix your fucking group or just let it die.
Yeah, another decent match on Raw. 3 of them, 3 good matches on Raw this week. The handicap match pretty good with Miz and Morrison against McIntyre, and McIntyre getting the win, and RKO out of nowhere to end the night.
We couldn't have predicted that a million miles away.
Yeah.
It was so fucking obvious.
So an okay Raw. It's a low bar.
It wasn't completely offensive.
It's a low bar.
It was still the worst show of the week.
Heading to headlines, 2K announcing details for Supercard Season 7, which nobody plays anymore.
Burn in hell, Cat Daddy.
They're bringing War Games to
with 3 rings. Again, showing that still 7 years developing this game, the idiots that do it still don't watch the fucking product.
Yeah. I gave up on that game a long time ago.
Trash.
Some sad news came down last week. Tracy Smothers passing away, who had a long career in WCW as part of the Southern Boys or the Young Pistols. Also, he was in ECW as a member of the FBI. was in WWF, of course, wrestled down south as well, Memphis, Smoky Mountain. So he was battling lymphoma. So some sad news there from one of the good guys in professional wrestling. If you saw any tweets regarding Tracy, great guy. For the first time, AEW is putting their pay-per-views on DVD, so you can purchase all of their shows at shopaew.com, because who buys DVDs anymore? But hey, maybe you want to collect them. Have at it. It's been announced that MLW has signed a brand new deal with BN Sports, so they will stay with that network, and MLW Fusion will continue to air on Saturday nights. WWE has posted a job opening seeking a music group coordinator. Maybe they realized all of their new music themes suck a fucking dick.
So bad. So bad.
So I kind of chuckled when I saw that. Renee Paquette, or as we all know as Renee Young, the beautiful wife of John Moxley. Official details have now come out on her cookbook. Messy in the Kitchen, My Guide to Eating Deliciously, Hosting Fabulously, and Sipping Copiously. A lot of Lees in there. May 8th of the 21 is when the book comes out. And so a little detail of the book, and all sorts of the fun stuff you can expect out of that. Yet another weird and questionable WWE name change. Matt Riddle is now going to be known as Riddle. Have you heard why?
Apparently Vince really liked his match with Sheamus. And when Vince takes an interest in somebody, there goes one of your names, pal.
Nope, that's actually not why, but
I've heard the conspiracy theory as of why.
Well,
but I don't believe that that's really the reason.
The Google
Are
search?
you referring to the court case?
Yeah, where you Google search Matt Riddle as opposed to Riddle.
I don't think that's I don't think WWE's that smart. Prove me wrong.
I just said Fusion on Saturdays, but literally the next day after the BN Sports, if I'm reading this right, MLW is going to Wednesdays.
Oh. Are they doing like the 7 p.m. time slot?
Yep. 6
Central. I heard rumors about that, which really isn't a bad idea.
Starts on November 18th.
I mean, a little bit of a lead into your Dynamite or your NXT.
Yeah. Sounded funny at first, but then I saw the time slot. So WWE has filed for trademark Then, Now, and Forever. Either they had to renew that.
They didn't. I was gonna say, didn't they have that already?
I don't know.
For as long as they've been using it, you damn well better have that shit trademarked.
I don't know, but they just filed for it on the 26th of October.
I hope that was for a renew. I really want to believe that that's all that was. Holy fucking shit!
Because I always talk about trademarks on the headlines, and I'm pretty sure I've said that they trademarked the Now and Forever before, so that has to be a renewal.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that's what that is.
And they're continuing to trademark UK. Speaking of UK, at Ilya Walter match, fucking good, boy. Zaya Brookside and Tyson T-Bone also trademarked. As we talk about someone maybe debuting with AEW, boy, wouldn't it be great to have this guy in as a manager somewhere? as it had been announced, or not announced, but recognized by people, that Sting's merchandise has been pulled from the WWE shop. So that means he's no longer under contract, a la, of course, what with Brock Lesnar, what happened once his contract had run out. I would very much love to see Sting in a managerial role in AEW. Obviously remains to be seen, but I would love to see it, Matt.
We'll see what happens. I feel like his asking price is going to be way too high, and I feel like AEW could definitely use their money on something else that would be more cost effective right now. That they would get more bang out of their buck, because you're not going to get any real bang out of your buck for Sting other than name value, because the dude ain't going to work. I mean, he's freaking 61 years old with a bad neck. Like, you can't put him in the ring.
No.
And I just don't know, what you could do at that point.
WWE is partnering with A&E on 2 documentaries on WWE talents. The partnership was originally announced in April of last year. There'll be documentaries on Austin, Booker T, Roddy Piper, Randy Savage. The Austin documentary is currently in production, set to debut in December. And they are working on a documentary about the Ultimate Warrior as well. And multiple sources have confirmed with PW Insider that they have locked in a Bret Hart as part of a future documentary as well, which may not necessarily tied within the WWE, but Deadline.com has reported that actor Stephen Amell was injured while performing a stunt on the set of the upcoming drama Heels. No word on where Amell was injured, but it sounds like while performing a stunt, looks like an injury to his back, and he's resting and recovering at home. And so a spokesperson said production has not been affected as Amell continues to recuperate, and also starring in on the show would be is Cody.
Cody. That's probably why he had the black hair for a couple weeks.
Yep. Fallah Bahh has signed a new deal with Impact Wrestling.
Bah.
So he has now even more money than his wad of cash.
That was what the contract was worth.
Oh, okay. SmackDown rebounds in the ratings. Of course, obviously, they dipped really hard when they went to FS1 because of the World Series. Came back strong, 2.13 million viewers. That was actually the biggest audience since the end of August. So very good rating for SmackDown this week. Monday Night Raw, not so much. 1.65 million viewers. With a dismal 1.45 hour 3. Held steady for hours 1 and 2. They only lost 20,000 viewers from hours 1 and 2. And of course, with the election going on, and obviously was not in the bag on Tuesday, a lot of people tuning into that. Both AEW and NXT saw a dip in ratings as well. AEW down to 717. NXT fell off the Halloween Havoc numbers and got 610.
I don't understand why people are torturing themselves watching the news right now.
Yeah.
Like, just wait for the official word to come out and stop driving yourself crazy. Like, there's no reason for it right now. Watching the news ain't gonna change anything.
No, and it might be over as of tonight. So
people just need to just calm down.
More trademarks filed with WWE on Rampage Brown, Nina Samuels, and Aaliyah James. Your new Ring of Honor Pure Champion, Jonathan Gresham, the newly married Jonathan Gresham, defeated Tracy Williams in the finals. And Gresham.
Did him and Jordan get married?
Yeah, I think we talked about that on the show a couple weeks ago.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
2020 is such a fucking blur, dude.
So that means Gresham is a double champ now because he holds the tag titles with Lethal.
Yeah, it was a really fun tournament. I actually really like ROH's TV presentation that they've had since they've been back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping it continues to be that good now that the tournament's over, but I guess we'll know next week.
Yeah, I have not watched Ring of Honor since for a while.
I honestly, it's been much improved, in my opinion. So, I would say if you're thinking about it, now's a decent time to pop back on and give it another shot.
Yeah, because I mean, I've run out of pro wrestling to watch every week. I mean, I watched back to back AEW, NXT, and Impact all last night.
It's a lot of wrestling.
AEW Dark from this past Tuesday. Former TNA knockout Leia DiTappa debuted facing Kylan King. Also on the episode, Butcher and the Blade, Sammy Guevara takes on Lee Johnson. I bet that was good. Private Party and Chaos Project. Griff Garrison and Brad Pillman in action. Brandy and Red Velvet in action. The Dark Order in action. Will Hobbs, Ricky Starks in action. Alan Angels, Jurassic Express, Darby Allin. Some more Dark Order with Stu and Uno. Ryzen, old buddy of Matt Hardy's, took on Kazarian, and Max Caster and Anthony Bowens took on Aaron Salau and Angel Fashion. Those dark shows are so long now. Kylie Ray has announced that she is now no longer a professional wrestler and taking a break from social media, obviously dealing with some mental issues, and just needs to take some time off going forward. Probably came back too soon after leaving AEW if we assume that was why she left AEW in the first place.
Yeah, to me it says that she's not ready, to be doing this right now. I don't know any other way to put it.
AEW Wrestling launches a Twitter, a Facebook, an Instagram, a YouTube of AEW games with an announcement set for this Tuesday at 5 Central, 6 Eastern. I hope to God it's for a console game and not a mobile game.
Yeah, you and me both. You don't hype something like this up for a week and then have it
be a mobile game.
Be the mobile game, because that's gonna piss a lot of people off.
Yep.
So I'm really, really hoping that this is for a console game. And look, if you want to throw something about a mobile game in there too, that's fine, because we know that the console game is a ways off. So you could announce the console game and be like, hey, but while you're waiting, we're gonna have this cool mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
And and that way, everybody's happy. So I hope that's what they do. But I'm nervous because I know how the wrestling game community is. And I know how much they're going to lose their shit if this has been hyped up for a week.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be a freaking mobile game.
Speaking of mobile games, as if we needed another WWE mobile game.
Oh, God, I know.
WWE announces one called Undefeated, which sounds basically the same as everything. Is that,
I know exactly. I know exactly what it is. It's
is it basically just a reskin Power Rangers game?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It was a game called Power Rangers Legacy Wars, I believe it was called.
And there was a battle for the grid and a battle for the grid.
Well, yeah, what they did is they took Legacy Wars and then they turned it into a full-fledged console game called Battle for the Grid. But I mean, that's what this game is based off of. So if you want to know if you're going to like this or not, download Power Rangers Legacy Wars now and try it on Google or iOS. And if you like it, you're going to like the WWE game. If you don't even bother downloading the WWE game when it comes out in December, because you already know what it is.
Is that like Mayhem game still even a thing?
I don't know. I haven't heard. If it is, I haven't heard anybody talking about that game. in forever.
And there's like a tap game. What, those things are so stupid. Those are for like little kids. Just to tap, 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 tap. And that's all you do is tap.
Tap, tap.
There's no strategy to it. You just tap.
Tap, tap, tap.
Allison Kay announces she's officially a free agent. And then literally hours later, or a couple of days later, it was announced that she'll be on the buy-in, taking on Serena Deeb.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'm not a big Allison Kay fan, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I just want to see Serena Deeb beat her ass.
A couple of guys that were on AEW Dark. It was announced during an interview with a PW Insider. Tony Khan announces that Anthony Bowens and Max Caster have signed AEW contracts, and their tag team will be known as the Acclaimed going forward. I don't know. I'm assuming those are AEW contracts, not the developmental. Maybe it is the developmental. I don't know. What do they call, like the Nightmare Factory contract or something like that?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The month of the Undertaker is on WWE Network this month, and they've released a best of the Undertaker, his most bone-chilling matches, dating back all the way to 91 when he took on the Ultimate Warrior in a body bag match. Coffin match with Kamala at Survivor Series in 92. The Boiler Room Brawl with Mankind at SummerSlam 96. Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels at Bad Blood. Casket match with Shawn Michaels at Inferno match with Kane. Hell in a Cell with Mankind, of course, at King of the Ring. Biker chain match with Taker and Brock Lesnar from 03. And Hell in a Cell with Shane McMahon. One that Matt and I saw that in person.
Craziness.
Leo Rush debuted with Primetime Live this week. And it has also been announced that Leo Rush will make his MLW debut as well.
I'm glad to see him. Glad to see he's sticking around.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a big Leo Rush fan, so.
Sean Daivari defeated Rocky Romero in the first round for their world title tournament. And Mike Bennett also advanced. Next week on Primetime Live, Eli Drake
Dummy, yeah.
and James Storm defend their tag team titles against Aaron Stevens and the Question Mark. Karate. I wonder if Stevens and Question Mark win, and that allows Drake and Storm to leave in NWA. Because Storm appeared on Impact, as we all know.
Storm's contract's up.
Yeah. So maybe Drake is gonna. I don't know. They had withheld Scorpio Sky from Dynamite this week as he was exposed to someone with COVID, but his initial test was negative. But they were supposed to have a match on Dynamite, decided to postpone it.
Hey, look, it's better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Man, that really sucks for both of those guys because I feel like they've been fighting to get on Dynamite for a while now. And now that happened, who knows when that match is going to happen. And if it does happen.
With Spears?
Yeah, who's to say it doesn't just end up happening on Dark now?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, I mean, it sucks. It really sucks for both of them.
Internally at Ring of Honor, they believe that both ROH champion Rush and TV champion Dragon Lee will return.
Dude, EC3 called him Rush on ROH television, and I was so fucking happy. I was so fucking happy. It was amazing. I was like, yes, say it right, EC3. That's how it's supposed to be said. I was so happy. Like the fact that they didn't make him redo that and they just left it on television. Oh, I popped so hard.
Jacob Fatu's next challenger for the MLW championship will be Davey Boy Smith Jr. Mustafa Ali was on After the Bell with Corey Graves, revealed that he almost quit wrestling. That's what the WWE will do to you. And the trailer is now out for Talkin' Shoppa Mania 2, Rise of the Torturer, on pay-per-view Friday, the 13th of November, a week from Friday. Talkin' Shoppa Mania 2.
Yeah, right after SmackDown.
Yep. It'll be during SmackDown, actually.
No, it's 10 o'clock.
This says 9/8 Central on Fight.
Really? I thought it was gonna be 10.
This says 9/8 Central on the trailer.
That might be a bad idea. I thought for sure they were airing at 10.
Unless they're doing a podcast at 8 and show at 9. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know, man. That's bad. Like, why are you gonna...
Because they did that podcast before the pay-per-view last time, didn't they? Like,
yeah, I'm hoping that's all it is, because you want as many wrestling fans to tune in as possible. And on a Friday night, it's going to be difficult enough as it is. You don't want to have to compete with a free television show.
Yeah.
So, woof.
Woof. Full Gear is coming at you Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday night.
That's what I'm here for.
7th of November.
Got that into my veins.
8 matches on the card, 1 on the buy-in. The buy-in is for the NWA World Women's Championship, Serena Deeb, Allison Kay. Since Allison Kay is no longer with the NWA, I'm going to assume Serena Deeb wins this match.
So,
getting bumped up to the main card, Johnny Hungy, John Silver.
Johnny Hungy.
And Orange Cassidy. I like that AEW has rewarded the work of John Silver.
Dude, it's amazing.
And I thought it was good. It was cool enough that he was getting a buy-in show match on the card, but now it's on the main card. But he ain't winning, is he?
No, there's no way.
No. Chris Jericho against MJF. If MJF wins, he's in the inner circle. I don't think so. I think Jericho wins this one. I mean, it'd be interesting to see him in it.
I think MJF 100% wins this match.
You think so? I think
MJF cheats to get in, and there's going to be a power struggle.
For
the inner circle for months to come, which is eventually going to lead to a Chris Jericho face turn in AEW.
Okay. We already talked about this AEW Women's World Title. Hikaru Shida against Nyla Rose. We both said Shida will retain. Piece of cake.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly, that shouldn't even be up for debate.
Finals of the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament. This'll be fucking good. Hangman Page, Kenny Omega. I think we're both on the same page. No pun intended, Matt. But what is your pick?
This is the match I've had the hardest trouble.
Oh, I thought it was pretty set in stone for you there.
Kenny and Hangman?
Yeah.
No, this is the match I'm having this is the match that I've gone back and forth on several times. Because the way they've played it out on TV, there's major possibilities for both people. I'm going to go with Kenny, but I think Kenny's going to cheat. Which means that Hangman will get a rematch after Kenny gets the title, and Hangman will beat Kenny in 2021 to become the AEW champion. I know that's some long-term booking, but that's what I'm going with. I'm going Kenny cheats to beat Hangman, and I think Kenny goes full blown heel.
I
And I wouldn't even be surprised if FTR helps Kenny win, and he ends up being a part of their group. I wouldn't even be surprised if that happens. And then Hangman gets his redemption story and ends up beating Kenny for the title.
Yeah, I fully expected Omega to win this. I thought, I really did not have any doubts that Omega was going to win. Do we get full on clean?
I do think there are some doubts, to be perfectly honest. Like I'm not 100% positive that this is going to happen, but I guess we'll find out.
Elite deletion match: Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara. I'm going Matt Hardy. It's gonna be on his turf, so home field advantage. Matt, you agree?
I would think Matt Hardy wins this so he can finally move on. At the same token, you could say that
put over the younger guy.
Sammy needs it too, but honestly, this match will have nothing to do with Sammy's story going forward. Obviously, he's going to be intertwined with MJF and the Inner Circle problems, so a loss here really isn't going to hurt him. I think Matt has not had a great year with AEW so far. A lot of bad luck and curses, so to speak. So I think Matt getting the decisive win in his own type of match, then he can move on and do his own thing in AEW going forward. So hopefully that's the direction they end up taking here.
Singles match for the AEW TNT Championship: Cody Rhodes against Darby Allin. We've already kind of touched on this here. Darby pretty much has to win, and we'll see.
I feel like he does too.
We'll see if Cody.
And look, he's already got a bunch of he's got built-in feuds with Brian Cage or Ricky Starks for title defenses.
Yep.
If they do this, so
I'm not sold on Cody turning heel, but I am sold on Darby winning.
Man, I think he'd make a great heel, man. I really do. I already know he makes a great heel, and we've seen him.
Oh yeah,
we've seen him be the heel.
Ring of Honor.
So yeah, and in WWE, at times too. So we know what that dude's capable of. I think he could be an amazing heel in AEW, and especially if they're planning. If the long-term plan is to swap Jericho over to the babyface side, they're going to need another main event heel. Besides just the likes of MJF, and Cody would absolutely fit that bill.
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally see Jericho and Wardlow both turning babyface.
Man, I look forward to the day that Wardlow somehow Tony Khan gives him his own contract and he breaks free and beats the shit out of MJF. That dude's gonna be. I really feel like he has the makings of a really big star.
Yeah.
For them in the future.
I've been saying that for a while now.
I think we both have.
But I'm just not sold on MJF winning. It does make for a good story.
I will be absolutely shocked if MJF doesn't win on Saturday.
Yeah. I'm just not sold on it, but it would make for an interesting story going forward. AEW Tag Team titles. Tully Blanchard is banned from ringside. If the Young Bucks lose, they will never challenge for the tag titles again. FTR, Young Bucks. I thought FTR would win this up until they put the stipulation in. And I'm like, they cannot have both Cody not going for the main title and Bucks not going for tag titles. So
yeah, but look, it's one thing for a singles title because Cody could challenge for another singles title. You can make more singles titles. We've already seen all the jokes online about the TNT tag team titles. Let's not do that.
No.
The Bucks need to win. Look, even if it's a short reign, even if FTR demand the rematch on Wednesday and they win the belts back on Dynamite and the Bucks go back on the chase, the Bucks need to leave Full Gear with the AEW tag team titles.
Yeah.
They absolutely positively cannot lose this match, because as great as the rest of this pay-per-view will probably be, if the Young Bucks lose this match, I'm going to be a very angry, bitter fan coming out of this show.
And I still think in the end, Cody is going to like right the wrong of what MJF did, and he'll eventually be able to. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be next month. Not even going to be next year, probably. But very long-term booking. Eventually, Cody is going to be able to go for that title. He'll have to probably go through MJF to do it. MJF might be the champion by then too. But I honestly think it would be ridiculous to have all three of those guys not be able to go for the main titles. So yeah, the Bucks got to win this. Probably going to be match of the night. A very high bar for AEW match of the year, because right now that match of the year is probably sitting at Bucks against Hangman and Omega. That's a very high bar. But if anybody can do it, it can be the Bucks and FTR. To be honest,
dude, there's 3 different matches here on this show that have the potential, like match of the year potential. Kenny and Hangman, Mox and Kingston, and
Cody and
the Bucks
Allen.
and FTR.
Cody, you could almost throw Cody and Allen in there too.
I think that'll be a great match, but I don't think it'll end up being a match of the year candidate.
No.
But like seriously, they have the makings of 3 potential match of the year candidates on this card.
Yeah, that might make up our.
People are underestimate how amazingly stacked this card is. This is the biggest AEW pay-per-view card they've ever done.
And there have been people that have complained that the build to this FTR Bucks match has not been great.
It hasn't been the best.
I think the Bucks have even admitted that somewhere. But this build has been 5 years, not 1 month. This has been a 5-year build.
And here's the thing. It's just getting started.
Yeah.
As long as the Bucks win.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't over when the Bucks win the titles. Like, this is far from over.
Oh no!
I feel like these guys will be feuding well into 2021.
Oh, this will be
unlike the Bucks and the Lucha Brothers. I don't think I'm gonna get sick of seeing this match anytime soon.
This is gonna be a 10-year feud, man.
I don't know about 10 years, but I wouldn't mind seeing these guys tear the house down for the next year.
They're gonna be fighting forever.
I don't know. The one thing I really love about AEW, and I love a lot of things about AEW, but one of the things that I really love about the company is they don't beat us over the head with the same matches over and over again. Like, the Orton and Drew feud, for example. Like they normally they wrap their stuff up and they move on.
That's been a good feud, though.
Oh, dude, I'm so sick of Orton and Drew. Like, I never want to see those 2 wrestle.
I'm not sick of
them.
I
know we're gonna see it at least another 3 or 4 times.
I'm not sick of it yet, but I'm finally starting to get sick of the Mysterio thing.
Oh my God! Welcome to my world, buddy.
Took me a while, but I'm there now.
It's so bad.
And finally, for the AEW Championship, an I Quit match. Boy, this is gonna be good. Matt, going into it, I was 100% sure Moxley was going to win the match, but the job Eddie Kingston has done since debuting on Dynamite is nothing short of spectacular. So while I still pick Moxley, it's not in the bag like I think it's going to be. I would honestly not be surprised if Kingston wins the title here, but I'm not going to predict it. So I'm just not on the guarantee bandwagon like I was originally when this match was going to be laid down. With the stipulation,
I'll give you a 98% guarantee that Mox is winning this match.
Yeah.
No, I'll go as high as 98% for Mox, because to me, Kingston defending the title against Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to Kingston, I love him, and I'm sure they'd make a great story out of it. But I want to see Mox and Kenny meet up again after Kenny has returned to the cleaner. And you know the match that these guys already had at Full Gear last year.
Yeah.
So I would imagine it will be Mox and Kenny at Revolution in February. And like, come on, man.
Yeah. And like I said, I still pick Moxley, but there's an opening now where I could see them putting it on Kingston, and they very well, just like you said with the Bucks, they very well could put it back on Moxley eventually. Not many world title matches on Dynamite, and if you did the title change and then announced one ahead of time, that'd be a big boost to compete with NXT. So it's a more possible scenario than I would have thought when the match was first announced. Again, I still think Moxley's going to win, and yes, he's going to be on a collision course with Omega to come full circle with that great feud that started when Moxley debuted with the company. But there could be a surprise and a road bump by giving Kingston a world title based on his career and based on the work he's done short term with AEW. I am just saying that now I don't believe it's out of the realm of possibility because of the job he's done there. And it could be more of a, hey, this is a kind of a career achievement for you to either close the pay-per-view. I don't know which one closes, honestly. I think the tag match closes, but I just say the door's open a lot more than it would have been a month ago when this was announced, is just what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you. And I do think this closes the show.
Okay. I quit closes.
I think I quit closes the show, and the only reason I say that is because Matt Jackson's ankle injury gimmick. I feel if there was no storyline injury going into this match, that would be closing the show. But I think Mox and Kingston are going to close. I could be wrong. But that's just me guessing.
It's gonna be fun. Like I said, I mean, if Kingston wins that championship, it's gonna be a lot of celebrating around the world, pro wrestling world of this guy's career. So I'm just the door's open a little bit. So that's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. I'd like to thank SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on Spotify, iTunes, any of your favorite podcasting apps. Just search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way. Typically on Wednesday, but a little special Friday episode for you here. So it's always good to subscribe. Also, hit the bell icon on our YouTube and give us a subscribe there. Hit the bell icon. Hit the bell icon so you know when the new episodes come your way on the video version of the podcast. And the links to that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, or on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of great tweets with the wrestling world. Matt is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. I am on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we ride off into that sunset, get ourselves some Full Gear on Saturday. Matt, what are your final thoughts?
As long as the Bucks win the tag team titles, I think Full Gear could go down as one of the greatest AEW pay-per-views ever. If they don't win the tag team titles and they can never challenge for them again, I'm going to be really annoyed with the show overall, no matter how great the rest of the show is. There's a lot on the line for that match.
Yeah,
that's really going to piss me off if they go the wrong way.
Well, either
I really hope that they don't.
Either they're closing or they're going to be third to last, and there'll be a cooler in between that and the title match.
Yeah.
So you won't have much to stew on after. They'll probably put Orange Cassidy and Silver after the Bucks if they don't close the show, or they'll probably put Orange and Silver on second to last no matter what, and then you pick and choose who goes first and who goes last out of those two matches. So, but yeah, we're gonna have a tremendous night. We're gonna have a lot to talk about on Tuesday.
There's been rumors going around that Matt Jackson's actually legit injured. Like it's coming from fucking Meltzer, so I'm not sure I believe it.
It came out today that he's medically cleared. Well, that's kayfabe, medically cleared.
He tweeted tonight. I appreciate everyone's concern about my injury. However, I have indeed been medically cleared by my doctor to participate in Saturday's match against the Boar Horsemen at Full Gear live on pay-per-view. Thank you for the support, Matt. F the Revival.
Boar, B-O-R-E.
Yes, Boar, B-O-R-E.
Rollins put Meltzer on blast too this week.
Yeah, dude, I think that guy's so full of fucking shit. Like he is wrong so much more than he's right.
Yeah.
You know, like I really don't understand why anybody listens to him anymore. I'm retweeting this right now. I'm gonna put it on both of the accounts. I'll get it on the Lost in the Big Card account too.
For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost the Midcard. We will be back at you. Probably on our normal time slot of Wednesday because we got to talk about the Full Gear reaction. Enjoy the show. We'll talk to you soon.